Kang?
Kang!
Who?
I am Kang!
The Conqueror.
Marvel has been hiding a bombshell in plain sight. Kang isn't just the next Thanos. He's the Fantastic Four's greatest mistake.
What?
And today, we're exposing the twisted time loop that binds them together forever. Here's why you clicked. Because no one's talking about the real connection between Kang and Marvel's first family. This isn't just another villain origin, it's a generational tragedy, a war across time, and the one story that could finally make the Fantastic Four unmissable in the MCU. He is the Conqueror who doesn't just break empires, he shatters timelines. A villain so vast, his greatest enemy isn't a hero, it's history itself. He colliding with F4 doesn't just give a battle, it gives you a whole saga. By the end of this, you'll see why Kang doesn't just threaten the Avengers. He's the only villain who can break Reed Richards. So brace yourselves because we're warping through time, multiverses, and some seriously twisted Marvel lore to find out. Let's be real, the Fantastic Four have faced gods, monsters, and even their own egos looking at you, Reed. But Kang? He's different. He's not just a threat from across the galaxy, he's a threat from across time, and that changes everything. Think about it. The F4 are explorers first, fighters second. They don't just punch problems, they solve them. But how do you solve a problem that hasn't happened yet? Or one that's already happened 1,000 times over? Kang doesn't just challenge their strength, he challenges their legacy. He's the living embodiment of Reed Richards' worst nightmare. A future where science, power, and unchecked ambition collide. And here's the kicker, Kang might need the Fantastic Four just as much as they're doomed to fight him. Because if there's one team in Marvel history that's rewritten destiny, it's them. Now here's where things get really juicy. Kang isn't just some random warlord from the future, he's a descendant of Reed Richards himself. That's right, the man who spent his life pushing boundaries may have accidentally birthed his own greatest enemy. The irony is thicker than the thing's skull. This isn't just a cool Easter egg, it's narrative dynamite. Kang's very existence forces Reed to confront the consequences of his genius. Every time Reed invents a world-changing device or cracks open a new dimension, he's potentially feeding the monster his bloodline will become. It's the ultimate tragic loop, the father of exploration, creating the destroyer of timelines. And let's not forget, Kang knows everything about the F4. Their strategies, their weaknesses, even their family dinners. He's studied them across centuries. How do you outthink an enemy who's already watched you lose 100 times? Here's the brilliant tragedy Marvel's been building towards. The Fantastic Four have always been about family first. But Kang? Here's what happens when that family's legacy spirals out of control. While Doom represents Reed's equal and opposite, Kang is something far more terrifying than Reed's failure. A living warning of what happens when intellect isn't tempered by humanity. And that's why this clash is inevitable. The FF don't just fight to save the world, they fight for their future. Every time Kang appears, he's not just threatening their lives, he's threatening their very existence across the time stream. Their children, their legacy, their meaning. But here's the twist, Kang might actually need them to exist. Without Reed's brilliance, there is no Kang dynasty. Without the F4's heroic legacy, Kang loses his greatest rival. They're locked in a temporal dance where Destroyer and Savior keep swapping roles. Now let's talk about why this matters for the MCU. After Thanos, Marvel needs a villain who isn't just powerful, he's inescapable. Kang isn't a guy you punch once and call it a day. He's the nightmare that keeps coming back in different forms across different eras. Imagine the Fantastic Four discovering Kang's true origins. The horror on Reed's face as he realizes he's looking at his own twisted legacy. The emotional gut punch of Sue and Reed realizing their descendants could become monsters. This isn't just superhero action, it's Shakespearean drama with a side of quantum physics. And here's the genius part. Kang gives the F4 something they've never truly had on screen, a deeply personal, emotionally devastating villain. Not just a threat to fight, but a future to prevent. So, is Kang the key to unlocking the Fantastic Four's greatest story? The evidence is piling up like time-displaced variants. He's their mirror, their mistake, and possibly their salvation all rolled into one complicated, chrono-bending package. But what do you think? Drop your theories in the comments, and if you want more deep dives into Marvel's most mind-bending comic book lore, hit that subscribe button.